All right, so I just got an email from a guy who's he sent me a link to an article that I just read, which the article was it was silly, but and this guy isn't silly, but the article was silly. It's like I don't get it, and then he goes, "Yes, I am going to complain to my advisor." Do me a favor, my friends. If you have a financial advisor, don't do that. Don't ever, ever, ever use the word complain, dissatisfied. Um, just you want to couch stuff as you can say that stuff on the telephone. Don't ever put into writing you're complaining because that immediately draws the ire of the compliance department. I'm just telling you, don't do that to your advisor. I'm going to complain about the way this article is written. Well, the compliance department doesn't see that. I'm telling you, I've had this happen to me. Don't ever email just a drunken rage at night. Say, I can't believe the markets are down. You're doing me wrong. Don't do that in email. Just say, hey, I'd like to set up a time to talk. Now, if your advisor is running from you, that's different. If your advisor is stealing from you, that's different. But if the markets are down and you need someone to voice frustration, don't put in an email. I cannot. I tell you, man, I cannot tell you how many times I've had people say, I had one guy who was pissed off at USA. They had it was like a $2.50 fee on their index fund, and he wrote in the email, why are they charging? I can't remember what it was, but he's mad about the $2.50 fee they charge on an index fund. And he goes, yeah, I'm really upset that USA hasn't reduced the fees. Don't use that word upset in an email. And I was like, okay. I mean, I had nothing to do. I mean, it was weird, man. And the compliance, like, why did he say this? You're like, I don't know. These compliance departments are insane. They're just make work, and they have to. And look, because everything that comes through could be a complaint, and a complaint's got to go to FINRA, the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority or agency. I don't even know what's called. And the FINRA regulatory agencies, they don't take kindly to complaints because a complaint is one step removed from, they think, from a customer being stolen from. It's stupid, but that's literally what they think, and they come across an email somehow that a firm, USA or Schwab or whatever, received a complaint and it wasn't reported or at least investigated. That could come back and they get fined by the SEC, the company, Schwab USA, and it's silly. Don't do that. So I'm asking you, don't ever do that with a financial advisor via an email. If you want to complain, what you do is you say, hey Joe, I feels like you're not returning my calls. I think I need to talk to your manager. That's fine. But don't that you can do that by an email if you think that's the case. Or hey Joe, I'm I don't know. I really need to talk to you about my current investment portfolio, and then give him a chance to defend why he puts in a Bitcoin. I mean, again, I think that's stupid, but he might have an argument for that. And if it's discretionary account where you turned over discretion to him, well, that's kind of on you. You said I'm going to give you the authority to trade in my account, and Joe, the stockbroker guy, says okay, and for some reason he bought into Bitcoin. Don't know why. I mean, but that's, you allowed him to do that. Just because he made a bad choice in that doesn't mean he's stealing from you. A complaint really in FINRA, the regulatory agency, is about not a bad investment choices, but bad investment allocations relative to your risk tolerance. I.e., you're 42 years old, he has you all in cash, and he's charging you a 2% fee. That's not going to fly. You're 88 years old, he's got you all in Bitcoin. That's not going to fly either. You know what I'm saying? Now, he might have it documented, and you approve of that. That's fine, as long as it's documented. But that's one thing where they're cracking down on. They want to make sure that you're allocated correctly to your risk tolerance. I mean, that's all kind of make work stuff. But look, at the end of the day, Joe is trying to defend his actions, and if you give him discretion, and Joe said, "Yeah, man, I thought Bitcoin had another. I was listening to Kathy Wood. I thought we could go to $1 million by now." Or you said, Kathy Wood says she's going to average another 25% a year going for the next 5 years. I just thought I was wrong. I mean, it's okay for your advisor to be wrong, man. No advisor would ever say he won't be wrong. I mean, if he ever said that and you still hired him, that's on you again. It's on you, not him. But so that's one thing, that he misallocated you relative to your risk tolerance. You're way too heavy and aggressive for who you are. And you can't go back in time and say, yeah, if I knew I was going to be down $50,000 on $1 million portfolio, I never would have taken the risk. That's fake. That's fake. I've seen that happen a lot, man, where people are like, I never knew I could lose money. You're like, you never knew you could lose money, my freaking behind. I mean, it's just weak. And sadly, a lot of the investment firms to get you to go away will pay you to make you whole just so you can leave. And you're like, and then you go to another firm, and the other firm thinks, oh, I'm going to get this $1 million account, not knowing the freaking baggage that comes with you as a client. It's like, this is just, I'm just telling you, I've been on the side, like, what? I had this professor, she was in Bulgaria for a summer vacation, or so I can't remember what it was. Or teaching a class of finance in Bulgaria. And this is the problem working at a big firm, is I didn't know who this lady was. She just got assigned to me when the guy who used to work with her quit, so I'm like her fourth guy in 2 years. And I just happened to be, I'd never spoke to her, because she's in Bulgaria. She never, I tried to email these people and calling them, and most of them, they didn't call because they didn't care. But we were charging a fee, so we have to reach out to her to say, hey, we're charging a fee. We got to make sure this is still good. So a year, I never heard, maybe even 2 years, I never heard from her. I documented every time I reached out to her, never contacted me. It was in August of 2011. Was it August? I think it was August 2011, actually. I think it was 2013. Anyway, there's a close to a bear market in small cap stocks, and she was down like 15%. Because she had a diversified portfolio, and then she emails me from Bulgaria, says, I hired you guys to make me money, not lose me money. I can't believe you are doing this. I need to talk to somebody because this is the wrong portfolio for me. I should never have been in here. And I try to reach out to her after that. So I don't know if she's in a drunken stupor. I don't know if she looked at her portfolio, but she just fired off some freaking cranky email. And of course, I had compliance come down. They said, why'd you put her in this? I said, dude, I don't know who this chick is, man. I've tried 1,000 times. Look, I documented 1,000 times. I tried calling her. She was in this account well before I was assigned to her. Don't put that on me. And here's the issue. If she would have pursued it, it would have fell on me, which is exactly what happened to me with another guy. It's just that simple, man. Because USA says, we'll give her $10,000 to go home, but she'll have a complaint on record, which we have to document with FINRA and the SEC. And we're going to have to document it on the guy who's assigned to her, which would be your old buddy Josh. That literally happened to me. You can look up my SEC reports. Freaking still pisses me off to this day. So this is nuts. But because I was assigned to him, I got the complaint fell on me. USA got to wipe their hands free with corporate money, which was my money as a member and your money as a member. And this guy was made, quote, whole. And I'm the one who got the report on my record that follows me for the rest of my life. It's completely corrupt. Anyway, so I had to basically backtrack why she was in these accounts, and I had no idea who she was. I mean, I knew who she was, but I had no idea how they got there. The previous guy didn't leave any things for me to follow into. I was like, I don't know what's going on, but she was in here for a reason. She never complained when the market was up. Thankfully, she never was heard from again, and I don't know where the hell she is, but she can kiss my big fat behind. Because it took some labor on my part to try to put the pieces together as why she was in this account. And I mean, again, I had no clue, none. And all was because she fired off an email that was very frustrating. I'm very frustrated with your portfolio manager. I'm down. I didn't think I'd ever lose money, blah, 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 blah. Like, dude, you're a finance professor. How could you it's crazy. So don't do that in an email. Now, again, if you're being threatened, you're being sued, you're being stolen from, the guy isn't returning your calls, that's one thing. But if it's just that you're unhappy with performance, or don't use the word upset, complaint, lose money, all those things are just have a conversation, man. Allow the guy to give you why he did what he did. And if you're still not happy there, then find another advisor. That's fine. But don't do this to these people, man. They got too much on their plate as it is, without some guy just sending off a snarky email. So I can't believe I'm losing money. I'm really upset. Give me another beer. Send. And you're like, that guy's got to deal for like 3 days. He's going to have to deal with an email like that. All right. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks now.